Hey guys, what's up? How's everyone doing? I know that things have been really crazy lately around the world because of the coronavirus. So I hope that you all are doing well. I hope that your family and friends are doing well. I hope that you guys are staying healthy, staying safe, staying inside, and staying productive and busy during this tough time. I know I haven't uploaded a video in a while for you guys, but like I just said, and like I'm sure you guys know and have seen on the news or via social media, whatever the case is, things are crazy right now. And if you don't know, I do live in New York and I actually work in Manhattan, two places of which are kind of at its peak right now with the virus. So things have been kind of scary. Unlike some other people and companies, I was not given the opportunity to be able to work remotely from home until just yesterday, Friday. So I've been having to commute back and forth on the train, and you know, it's just been really crazy, you know? And I'm not the only one. I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm the only one at all, because I know I'm definitely not. But just kind of been busy preparing for who knows what's gonna happen in the coming days or weeks, but I've also just kind of been trying to maintain like a normal day-to-day routine, you know? I'm trying to keep my sanity in the midst of everything that's going on. I'm not trying to freak myself out. I'm not trying to just psych myself out with all this. I don't know what's going to happen, and because of that, it is kind of nerve-wracking, but like I said, for the most part, I was trying to keep my day-to-day routine of just going to work, going to the gym, whatever the case is, to kind of keep myself distracted and keep myself going and have stuff to look forward to, you know? I was finally granted the ability, like I said, to work remotely on Friday, so now that I'm going to have all of this extra free time indefinitely and be more flexible while I'm being at home, although I am going to still kind of be working during the week, I figured it was the perfect time to finally just sit down and film. So that's what I'm going to be doing for you guys today, and I'm actually really happy and excited about it because this is part of my work, you know? This is part of what makes me happy right now and keeps me distracted, so here I am. I didn't want to do anything too serious given all of the serious and negativity that's going on around the world, on the news, on social media, all of that. So because of that, I figure I sit down and film my first story time for you guys, which is exactly what I'm going to be doing today. Piggybacking off of my last video, sort of, today's story time is going to be my weight loss journey. Why I started it, how I got to where I was, where I am now, etc., etc. Weight in general. I know that weight in general is a really obviously sensitive topic in this day and age with social media and all that stuff, but I really wanted to be able to sit down and share my personal story with you guys, especially after sharing my workout videos, because I showed pretty much my entire workout routines with you guys, so I figure it's the perfect time to be able to sit down and share that story with you guys, why I even got into all this in the first place. So that's what I'm going to be doing for you guys today. But before that I get into that, if you guys are new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Emily. If you are new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell to be notified every single time that I upload. And if you guys are interested in hearing about my weight loss journey story time, then just keep watching. So before I start, I just want to let you guys know that I'm going to do my best to give like a timeline for when everything happened, and I'm also going to do my best to insert pictures, hopefully regular pictures throughout the video of like how I started and throughout that time and all that stuff. So I'm kind of nervous. I don't know why. I'm nervous filming this right now. Like my hands are kind of shaking. I just want to like make sure that I say everything in the right way, because I mean, it's my story. I can tell it how I want, but like it's like nerve-wracking. I don't know. It's nerve-wracking having to like think about all these things from the past and like bring it up. But I guess I can start off just by saying that my weight since I was a kid has always fluctuated. I was always either really thin or kind of big. I don't think, maybe at some points throughout my life I was kind of like borderline overweight, if not like right there. But yeah, I've always fluctuated for some reason. When I was a teenager, I was pretty thin, but like I said, I went through my periods where I would get really big, and you would see it like in my face or my stomach or my thighs or whatever. Let's just start off with like high school. Senior year was when I was with my ex. So I was at a decent weight. I don't remember specific numbers, but I was at a decent size weight. Like I never really felt insecure until later on, and I'll explain that in a little bit. But I was at a decent weight. I was pretty happy with myself for the most part. But there were people that would always, I guess because I was pretty thin, I don't know if this is why, but it is worth mentioning that I'm anemic. And I found out that I was anemic, I think in my junior or senior year. So I'm pretty sure that also played a role in why I was on the thin side around that time. But yeah, so I was anemic. There would always be times where, because I was at that point and I had just found out about it and it was really starting to like hit me, that I would always look exhausted and I would always look kind of sick-like. And I'm pretty sure that's what played a role in my weight as well. I just didn't realize it until later on. Teachers and guidance counselors and whatever would always come up to me and ask if I was okay, because I would always look super pale. I would always have extremely dark circles, and I guess I was super thin at that time, although I didn't really realize it for myself. But moving on past senior year, I was still pretty, like, I loved myself, I guess you could say, so I guess that's why I wasn't really stressing it. But moving on past senior year was my first year of college. I'm talking a little fast and I need to like relax, but it's because I'm nervous and I know that, but it's fine. So first semester of college was really freaking rough. I was going through a lot of shit personally, mainly with my ex and my family. That's for another story time, but long story short, I was going through a lot with both of them. They didn't get along, and because they didn't get along, I obviously got put in the middle of that a lot. And in the midst of all that, I was also trying to hold my relationship with my ex and myself together, which was really stressful. I was away in college. It was my first time away from all of my family, all of my friends, everything. I wasn't that far away. I was in Connecticut, which is like an hour and a half maybe from where I live at, but still it was far enough that not many people could come visit me or would come visit me. So I was pretty much ultimately alone completely. And on top of that, I was in a single, which wasn't the smartest thing in the world for my first semester of my first year of college away. I was in a single. I thought it would be the best thing in the world if I had my own room to myself. I don't know why, but I did. And that just added on to it because I had no friends. I had nothing, no one. So I was really stressed out. But yeah, so first semester was really rough because of that. Second semester was really just overlapping what happened in the first semester. The only difference is the second semester, I was going through a breakup. A really stressful breakup. And this is when my mental health was all types of messed up. My eating habits were all types of messed up. And because of that, because of my family stuff still, I was either eating really, really bad, like awful stuff, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or I wasn't eating at all. There really wasn't any in between. Plus, I was super emotional, and I don't know if this is a fact. It's probably not, but like I was so emotional, like literally crying like all the time, that I feel like that played a role too in my weight loss. So that is second semester. I come home from that semester. I'm still dealing with this horrible breakup. And at this point, it's summer of 2014 or something like that. And because I'm going through this horrible breakup, I went through a period of like 3 months where I was super depressed. I didn't eat really. I didn't do anything except literally just be in my room where I'm at right now. I didn't talk to anybody. I didn't do anything. I didn't want to see anything or anyone. I didn't want to eat. I had zero appetite. I wasn't forcing myself not to eat. I just literally had no appetite because of everything that I was going through. So that made my weight drop tremendously. I really wish I had numbers just to give you guys some sort of frame, but I was so depressed that I didn't even have the motivation to step on a freaking scale. But I can tell you I lost a lot of weight. I was never anemic or anything serious like that, thank God. But still, I was super skinny. So, fast forward into June of 2014. This is when I met Diego, actually. I was at a decent weight. So when I came out of hiding, finally, this is another story time for another day, how I met Diego and how all that stuff came along. But again, long story short, I re-met Diego in June 2014, and because I knew that I was going to be at this place where he was going to be and a bunch of other people were going to be, literally the first time in 3 months that I put myself together, that I wore something cute, that I got a manicure done, I did everything, and I actually looked good. Like, I was at a decently healthy weight after 3 months. Again, I wasn't working out, I wasn't doing any of that stuff. It was just what I had was what I was working with. And then Diego and I got together shortly after that, and when Diego and I got together, that boy fed me. We're just gonna leave it at that. That boy fed me, he kept me healthy, and I sure as hell gained a crap ton of healthy weight. Moving on to like a year or two into Diego and I's relationship, this is when I was in my second school because I transferred out of my first one. I'm in my second school. It's my first year in that second school. It's like, 2015, 2016. It was great at first because that first semester I was living in a hotel. My school's campus got like really badly overbooked, and so they had a hotel nearby that they ended up putting certain students in, and I was fortunate enough to be one of those students that got to live in a hotel for that whole first semester. So Diego and I were pretty much in that hotel for a few months. He wasn't living with me, but he would commute back and forth like a lot to see me on weekends and stuff, especially since I had the space, I had the means, and a bunch of my friends from back home would visit too. It was really great. The second semester there, after in 2015, the second semester, I'm horrible with dates, and I'm so sorry, but I hope you guys are keeping up. And I'm gonna say like late 2015, the second semester that I was in that school, we had to leave the hotel because since people were graduating or whatever the case was, there was more room on campus for us to move to. So I randomly ended up getting put into this dorm that just so happened to be right above was it the dining hall or I think it was just one of the main food places on campus called the Hub. And so I was up top, and that was really good and really convenient just for the fact that I was in the center of campus. All of my classes were literally all around me, and then all I had to do was go right downstairs in an elevator and all the food places were there. So it was super convenient, and it's kind of awful because once I got settled in, all I would do was eat. literally. I would just eat. Why? I don't really know, but I just was. I think this was around the time that I got on my birth control, and so we're pretty sure, like, obviously, I'm taking responsibility for eating, but if you are on birth control, then you know that that can be a symptom too. Depending on the dosage within your birth control, it makes you just, it has the potential to make you feel hungry sometimes, more often than not. And when I first got on it, that was a major thing that I felt, and I wasn't really active. So because I wasn't active, I just constantly felt hungry, constantly felt like I wanted to eat, and so that's what I would do. I would feed into the cravings, or whatever the case was, go downstairs, get myself a snack, breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever the case was. I didn't really care. It was to the point that I got really big really fast. And imagine that for like 2 years. For 2 years straight, basically, I was doing that. So it's gonna add up. Senior year, and I moved into an apartment that was pretty much right across from where I started, right above the main food place. All I had to do was walk like a second and I was there again. But I was at my absolute heaviest in 2017, my senior year. And so Diego was always the type that he was into fitness, because if you didn't know, he used to be really big and really great at boxing. So because he was in boxing, he obviously had to be on his weight stuff, on his workout stuff, and he just always had to be on top of things. And so he would kind of try to like mirror that onto me, just like teach me about certain workouts and stuff like that and bring me to the gym with him, but I wasn't into it at the time. So I was just like, whatever, like I'll go, but it is what it is, like I'm not gonna keep this up, whatever. But it got to the point where when I was in my senior year, I was at my absolute heaviest, and I was like, okay, this kind of has to stop. And so I'm gonna, like I said, I'm inserting pictures of how I looked my last year, and I was at my heaviest weight, I think, when I was right after graduation in 2017. If I remember correctly, I think my heaviest weight was like 220 pounds. I kind of looked it, and it's some pictures, which you guys are gonna see, like in my gut area or my back fat or whatever the case was. But if it wasn't for my height, like my height saved me a lot, because I'm pretty tall. I mean, I'm not super tall, I'm 5'6", but I'm tall enough that it showed a little bit, but not as bad as what it could have. Like if I was shorter, it would have been over. But my height saved me, and it wasn't until after graduation that I really started to see all of these pictures, and you know, like I just really started to notice my weight gain. And obviously, like I always knew, like I wasn't oblivious to it, I wasn't trying to ignore it. I've always been that type that I tried not to let it get to me. I've always kind of tried to be like secure with myself and love myself regardless of what weight that I'm at. But it really got to a point afterwards that I'm like, this is not okay. Like I see it in all my pictures. I'm big. Like it got to that point that I was like, okay, I'm no longer secure with myself. Like, remember when Diego and I went on our first vacation to Mexico, Cancun, and I saw pictures of myself, and I was just like, that is not okay. Like, I can't even look at those pictures because it's just so, like, it's cringing. And Diego obviously noticed. Diego noticed, my family noticed, whatever, but I guess they were just trying to kind of be nice to me and not really hurt my feelings and stuff, which is fine. But, yeah, nobody really told me anything. So then after graduation, I started my first full-time job in Manhattan, and I think that was around the time that I was like, okay, I gotta get a gym membership. I always had one, and I think I said this to you guys before. I had a Blink membership for like 3 or 4 years prior, since I was in Purchase, my second college, because there was a Blink in White Plains, in the White Plains area, that I would try to go to once every couple of months, but I never took it seriously. So I had that membership open all that time and just literally never went. And so after graduation, I was like, all right, this needs to stop. Like, I need to get more serious because this is just not okay. I don't want to be skinny. I don't want to be whatever, but I need to be a lot better than I am right now. And so that's when Diego and I started seriously going all of the time. And I just got more serious with it. There was a point in like late 2017, early 2018 that I was going, but I still wasn't really taking it serious. Like, I would go a couple times a week with him, but I was still eating badly on the side, so it really made no difference, and I really wasn't doing anything for myself. But late 2018 was when I was just like, okay, this, like, I need to get more serious with it. I need to get my eating in check. I need to start doing cardio. I need to take these workouts more seriously and do what I have to do to get where I want to be at, because at the end of the day, it's not just gonna happen. It's not gonna happen overnight, and if I want the body that I want, then I need to work for it. And so that's what I ended up doing. Diego and I started going to the gym at least 5 or 6 days a week. And it wasn't in a weird obsessive way either. Like, don't get me wrong, I actually ended up falling in love with working out, and every day I was like, all right, like, we're gonna do this, or Diego would tell me, I'm working on this today if you want to jump in, or whatever the case was. Like, it wasn't in an unhealthy way that my mind was just like, work out, like, I need to lose weight, and yet no, it was never like that. It was a personal choice that I knew I wanted and needed to buckle down. I needed to cancel out all the junk food, all the sugary stuff, soda, whatever the case was, and clean up my act, clean up my diet, because at that point before that, I was like overweight, like really badly overweight. And it wasn't until officially, it wasn't until I think November or December of 2018 that I booked a trip to Thailand for Diego and I to surprise him for his birthday, that even more so, I was like, okay, we both need to like whip ourselves into shape. And so we took it super seriously. And I had started I didn't see the results right away, and that was a little frustrating. But in hindsight, they say that what is it? I think, what's the saying? I think the saying is something like, takes 2 or 3 weeks for other people around you to see the results, and then it takes like 3 or 4 weeks or more than that, or something like that, for you to finally start to see the results in yourself. And that's what happened. I was a little disappointed because I wouldn't see results right away, but at the same time, Diego would constantly have to keep bringing me down back to earth, and just being like, listen, you need to keep going at this. It's not going to be like overnight you do one workout and you have a fat ass or a flat tummy or whatever the case is. Like, you have to keep working at this. It's going to be a long-term thing, or it has to be if you want it to be. And so it really is true. You know, like, it sucks, but it is true what some people say, that it takes 6 months to a year to really whip your body into shape the way that you want it to. It's not going to happen in a few weeks or a few months. Like, it takes a while. And so that's what ended up happening. And by April of last year, 2019, I was down, how much was I down? I was down, I think, 26.5 pounds. And so my lowest weight, if I remember correctly, was like 175. 174, 175. I remember that for the Thailand trip, I wanted to try and be at like in the 160s somewhere. But by the time the trip came, I was at like 174, 175. And I'll insert pictures from like 1 or 2 from when I was out there, how I looked and stuff like that. And I was really happy with the results. Like, I couldn't believe that I was finally in the body that I wanted, you know, and it took a really long time, but not only did I end up loving the process, but I also obviously ended up loving how I ended up looking, which was amazing. And after the Thailand trip, I was super strict from when I booked the trip up until Thailand, because I knew that I wanted to look and feel my best while I was out there. And so I was really, really strict with myself. Again, not in an unhealthy way, but I was very strict with myself. I would make myself have maybe one cheat day a week. I would be doing cardio pretty much every single day that I would go to the gym, which at the time was at like 5, maybe 6 days out of the week I would try and go to the gym. But yeah, following the Thailand trip, I kind of let myself go a little bit, not to how I was before, but I definitely loosened the reins a lot when I came back, because I was just like, you know what, like, I don't know, it was weird. I went through a postpartum vacation depression, if that makes sense. And so because of that, I wasn't really feeling going to the gym or whatever the case was. Like, I just went through a really weird period when we came back, and so I wasn't as strict. And then we booked my birthday trip to California, and again, I knew that we were going to be at beaches, and I knew I wanted to take pictures and whatever the case was, but I just wasn't as strict with myself, because I just kind of had the mentality that I was like, you know what, I was so good for so long, which was amazing because I got amazing results out of it and I felt really great about it. But I want to not let myself go, but I want to allow myself to not be so strict. I want to eat what I want to eat when I want to eat it. I don't want to be so strict. I don't want to be like, this is a diet, it has to be like this all the time. I wasn't overindulging, but I let myself live, you know? Like, if I wanted cookies, or if I wanted chips, or if I wanted Chinese food, or whatever the case was, I would allow myself to have it. I was still going to the gym, I just wasn't taking my diet as seriously. And because of that, I did gain a couple pounds, but I still, for the most part, felt pretty good. When we finally got to California, August of last year, I still felt pretty good. I'll insert some pictures of that. But yeah. And then similar to Thailand, once we came back from the California trip, I went through some vacation withdrawals as well. But the difference is, this time around, for some reason, it hit me a lot harder. And for weeks, it was like 3 or 4 weeks, that I just didn't feel like going to the gym. I didn't want to go to the gym. I didn't have it in me. I was like tired a lot for some reason, and I just had no motivation to go to the gym. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to go. I'm going to continue doing what I wanted to do as far as how I wanted to eat, and I just cut back on the gym a lot. I would end up going maybe once a week if I felt like it, but if I didn't, I really didn't pressure myself. I just let it be. But it kind of backfired a little bit, just because fast forwarding to present day, I overly let myself go to some extent, if that makes sense. I let myself too much have whatever I wanted and didn't care a little too much. Because currently I did gain a lot of my weight back. I'm not really ashamed of it, because like I said, I'm happy that I gave myself the freedom to be able to just do and eat what I wanted when I wanted. I don't regret that one bit. However, I am at a place right now where I'm not too happy with where my body is at, which I take full responsibility for, because I know I did it to myself. But because of that, I definitely know that I want to get back to where I once was. I don't have any trips planned right now to further give me the motivation to push myself to whip myself back into shape the way that I did with Thailand. But I have that mentality in me that I want to work out, that I want to stop eating all this junk food, all this bad stuff, whatever the case is, and get myself back in shape. The issue is, now with this home quarantine stuff, I'm home all the time. I am home, or I'm going to be home all of the time, and I have my survival food and survival snacks all downstairs. all of the gyms are closed in New York right now, so I have no access to a gym to be able to work out, and I have all access in the world to food downstairs. I have self-control. I promise I do. I think so. But this is going to be difficult. I'm at the end of the story time now, but my worry currently is with working out because, like I said, there are no gyms open right now. So I just kind of need to make do with what I have, which really is not much and is what's worrying me a little bit. But I have to do something. I have to figure something out because who knows how long I'm going to be stuck at home without a gym, without regular weights that I'm used to. And so I need to come up with a new home workout routine. I have no idea what that's going to be. I need to continue doing some research to figure it out, but that's just where I'm at right now. I'm not too comfortable saying what my current weight is. Maybe one day I will, but at the moment I'm not, so I'm not going to say. But I definitely gained a good portion of my weight back. I'm not at 200 yet, but I'm kind of, sort of close to it-ish. So I really do need to get myself back on track. But yeah, guys, that was my weight loss journey story time. I really hope that it made sense. I hope that I didn't lose you guys. I hope that my little timeline was okay. It was my first story time, so hopefully I get better with it along the way. I did my best to make everything sequential, but yeah, guys, that was it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Now that I'm home, like, a decent amount of free time, so hopefully I can keep this going. I have a few other at-home videos that I'm hopefully planning on doing, and once I figure out what exactly my home workout routine ends up being, maybe I'll do a video on that. If you're interested in that, let me know. Comment down below. Comment down below what you thought about this story time. Let me know how you think I did. Hopefully this video isn't super long, although unfortunately I'm sure that it will be, but hopefully you guys watch the entire thing because all we have is time right now to do whatever. Yeah, let me know how I did. Let me know if you like these kind of videos because I have some other ideas of other story times that I can do as well. So if you're into this kind of thing and want to see more of it, I will definitely be sure to do that. Just comment down below or leave a like or DM me or whatever the case is, and I'll definitely be sure to do that for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please always remember to give it a thumbs up. Always remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!